Let us talk about one of the greatest and most underrated ways of progressing in combat sports, of learning 10 times faster than you would if you had not done this. I am not going to talk about hard sparring or a superior strength and conditioning routine or tactical training. Hell, I'm not even talking about having a superior coach. Although all of these things are very important and necessary, that is not what I am referring to. What I am referring to is playing. Playing is what will make you develop 10 times faster. If this does not make sense, then please keep listening, as I am sure it will by the end of this video. If you have watched any wildlife documentary, how do you suppose wild animals learn to hunt in the wild? The first thing they will start doing is playing. They will attack each other, bite each other's necks, practice different scenarios in a friendly but at the same time competitive way. And the whole essence of playing is doing it in a non-aggressive, non-serious way. This is the most intuitive form of learning. Playing, that is. When we are kids, the first thing we do to learn our ways about the world is playing. Put 10 kids in a sandbox, regardless of what gender they have, what ethnicity they have, they will instantly start playing. They will wrestle each other, they will laugh, they will make faces. This is how they learn. By a low guard setting where you can just experiment, try out things without any pressures. And guess what? Playing is just as efficient as an adult when it comes to combat sports. This is your opportunity to try out things in a low pressure situation that you would otherwise not dare to do in a high pressure situation, such as hard sparring or in a match. Imagine you engage in flowy wrestling, flowy boxing, where you just try out new things. There is the enthusiasm factor in that also. It is so fun. It is such a gigantic and underrated advantage. How much likely are you to learn while having fun compared to being bored? Having fun is like an accelerator of learning. You might have had different topics in elementary school or university. Tell me, which topic did you have an easier time learning? The things that you enjoyed learning or the things that you were forced to learn? And this is your time to have fun and experiment and do the movements that you enjoy doing, and you're not gonna get knocked out by doing them because it's in a low stakes situation. You're doing it in a controlled and fun manner. Normally, you will never have opportunities doing this thing if you're always doing hard sparring, if you're always drilling technical drills and things like this. They can feel a bit forced and regimented sometimes. You are stuck to a limited amount of possibilities. And make no mistake, dry drills like these are necessary, but it has to be balanced with having fun. You cannot only be doing regimented work in your training. Sometimes you need to have fun and let loose and experiment. You need to play, in other words. The children of South America now that are the greatest football players, they did not become the best by only going through regimented training sessions. They played in the streets every day, in the school breaks, the lunch breaks. They played all the time. Same thing with the ice hockey players of the Nordic countries. They played all the time. Every single break they had, they just played. And it is true, these are national sports and with vast resources invested in the sports. But the bulk of their learning came from, you guessed it, playing. Now we have to keep in mind, hard sparring in combat sports is necessary. You're engaging in a full contact sport after all, where your opponent wants to knock you into another dimension. So you must feel this kind of combat, this kind of urgency and aggressiveness from time to time, as well as a preparatory measure every once in a while. For the most part, hard sparring, the only purpose of it is psychological preparation. You need to be psychologically prepared for combat, and you become that by having sensed what is about to happen. Hard sparring is not a good opportunity for learning and experimenting. It is just to alleviate the pressures of competing so that you know what to expect. No, you learn by playing, by a low stakes environment so that you can experiment and try out new things. You do not need to rely on hard sparring every week, all the time. The risk with doing that is that you instill too much of a cautious element. You will not take any significant risks anymore because that can lead you to going to sleep, so you are more careful. And playing, it removes this fear. Now you can both experiment and learn. You can take risks, you can let the mental guard down and your physical guard down even and find out. Sure. Throw that reckless overhand, throw that uppercut that you didn't set up properly, go for that sloppy double leg entry. It's okay, you will not have consequences and you will learn. You want to make as many mistakes as possible, go for it, that is the point. This is how you learn. The presence of safety, that is lack of consequences, is what allows you to experiment and find things out. Let's say you're a race car driver and your car has an airbag system, you know, you have good seat belts, you're wearing the best helmet. Then you can be a little bit reckless. You can drive a bit recklessly, experiment with different things because it's not gonna have significant consequences. But put that same guy in there without any safety equipment, no helmet, and he will drive more carefully, of course. So when it comes to combat sports, we sometimes need to remove this overly cautious mindset due to the presence of significant consequences so that you can play around and find out. And you will constantly strengthen those neural connections and build confidence in movements that you normally would not have the confidence for. And guess what? By playing, by experimenting, the next time you enter a real fight or hard sparring session, because you have been practicing these different scenarios so much during your playful training, you will be confident executing them here too. That is the point of it. So play more, pair up with a partner, say 2 or 3 rounds of 5-minute rounds, make it super relaxed and don't resist anything in a muscular manner, just flow with it. If you both are too combative and tense, you will ruin the entire purpose of doing this. It must be playful. And the good thing about this is, as opposed to real sparring, you can do this pretty much every day for as long as you want. You get no concussions, it is healthy, it is fun, it is joint friendly, and the risks are very low, and you learn and develop so much from it.